Cole went to the
What?
bathroom quick. He had to piss. But thank you for getting on with us. He's been like so adamant. He's like wants to talk to Billy. I'm like, Billy's probably got some stories you haven't heard for a while. So
Is he in
he's been
Sweden
like,
right
have you
now,
talked
or
to
is he
Billy?
back?
No, he'll be back. No, he'll what say? No, what'd you say?
Is he in Sweden right now?
Yeah, he's in Sweden. He's at his place in Sweden chilling.
Oh, nice.
Just wait for him to get back. What the hell you been doing, Billy?
Just dirt biking and working. That's literally it.
What's wrong with your what are you trying to fix on your bike?
Oh no, I just gotta get it ready for Sunday.
You're still racing? Cole said you told him you're racing
Yeah.
enduro now?
Yeah, I got to race this Sunday. I raced a couple weeks ago.
Did you
I was
win?
gonna race last. Oh, I got second in my class in my last race, and then
Nice.
I was gonna race last weekend, but I had a couple beers and I just wasn't that motivated.
Yeah.
I thought Matt was gonna buy a bike, but he's all over the place. You know how he is.
Yes, I know. I told Matt, I said, Matt, I said, I don't know if I can handle you when you're sober. Because he's like not as much of a, like he's just all over the freaking place.
Well, dude, his head is so far up that nasty girl's ass.
I know.
Holy shit. In the
What's up,
flesh,
Cole?
dude. In the flesh, man. How you doing, dude?
I dig the hair.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. How you been, dude?
I've been good, man. How was it over in Sweden?
It's fucking communist, man. You can't.
Communist.
No, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, we're not quite on the brink of a civil war, which seems to be the vibe coming from America at the moment. But the
thing is, if there is a civil war, at least the strong will survive and the weak will be gone, and the weak always hold you down, so it'll be okay.
It's all about those damn leftist Antifa. The week there,
I gotta say, man, like I do love your like the fact that you have this. I love your like little philosophical like nugget, and then you at the same time sort of laugh along with the nugget, because it is kind of, the whole thing is sort of silly and absurd, right? Like it is kind of ridiculous that people can't just have fucking conversations nowadays.
I know.
It's like, why do we have to hate each other over this shit? It's so silly. I think you have a self-awareness of that. But dude, last time that we talked, I think you were on your way to fuck it.
The Phuket.
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it, Phuket. Yeah, I haven't.
Oh, you say like okay.
I haven't been to Thailand in quite a while. The last time I was there, I was like borderline dating some Russian chick. I was living the life and it was awesome. And then the fucking pandemic, like I left on 24 hours notice because I was gonna get stuck there.
Oh.
Everybody's like, oh, it wouldn't be so bad to be stuck in Thailand. I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? I'll run out of money and have to pimp myself out to the lady boys.
I mean, that's one option. Yeah.
Billy comes back. He's got all these secrets. He's just traumatized. He doesn't say nothing. It's like, Billy, what happened to you? I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, I never fell victim to that. However, I do know a good old English mate that
didn't fall victim.
I know an English mate of mine did fall victim of that. To give you the
English mate, you just like, what is that? You're just telling it for a friend?
I'll give you the short version. So essentially, he said, "Hey, Mike, what bar do you recommend I go to?" and I was like, "All right, go to Chalong Bay. down by the circle, hang a left, go to every bar on that strip except the last one on the right. So next day, I'm up for my morning run, and I kind of see him looking a little down and out, and I'm like, "Hey, what's wrong, Mike?" Kind of busting his balls, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, I said, "How was your evening, your night last night?" He's like, "Oh, it started out good, then it went to shit." And I'm like, "What happened?" He's like, "Well, I went down to that strip like you said, and I went to every bar, including the last one on the right that you told me not to go to."
Oh shit.
So I'm like, "Well, then what happened?" And he just blurts it out, and he says, "Well, I was getting my dick sucked and I wanted to smash, and she pulled out a tallywhacker bigger than mine."
Oh yeah, that'll get you. That tallywhacker will get you every time, bro.
Fucking tallywhacker bigger than mine, anyways. I tell you, it's a problem with this world. You got women with bigger wieners than men.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's how far we've fallen, guys. Is that literally the ladies have bigger dicks than we do? Like, what is?
I don't know that's fucked up, man. Something going on.
I can't quite put my finger on it. It feels like something in the culture has shifted.
That's what she said.
Okay, here's the thing, Cole. I do believe in equality, but I just want a good old fashioned woman that can make a sandwich.
And here's the thing about that. I don't disagree.
About what? Equality?
No, the sandwich.
Oh.
No, actually, here's the thing. I in a weird way, I think I get what you're saying. I think I feel the same way, but like maybe I wouldn't put it quite that way, you know. But it is sort of like live and let live. Do what you want to do. Like you do what you want with your life, but at the same time, make me a fucking sandwich. I mean, it's not really that complicated.
No, but if you're a woman and you have a penis or whatever, you want to be a man, like I expect you to be the breadwinner and make me sandwiches because you got to rule both roosts now.
Exactly, and hold the door open. But also, don't try to take control of anything because that would be toxic.
Yeah, I get all the control because I'm the true man, but because you want to be in both worlds, you have to bring home the money and make the food.
Yeah, you got to
basically. Okay, so I think I get what you're saying, Clint.
And I think
not only do you gotta,
equality.
You got to pay for the. You got to pay for the sandwich meat and make the sandwich.
Exactly. And that's true equality.
Yeah, that's a good fucking point. But on a real note, on an actual real note, like if
I thought that was
a
real note, bro.
Billy's got the real note right now, and you know it. Let's listen.
Well, I mean, that was the download real note. I mean, if I was at the bar having small talk with someone I didn't know, I probably wouldn't quite say it like that. I mean, I would probably be a little more acquainted to my audience, depending on how I was gonna, speak on it. But anyways,
that's fair enough. That's honorable. That's honorable, Billy. I feel like Billy would just, but if they piss you off though, you would just tell them blunt. I know that.
Well, first I would order a shot of Fireball, and then I would drink it, and then I would tell them blunt.
Yeah, and that's valid. You gotta grease up the bearings a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
gotta oil it up a bit.
Yeah, oil it up.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta spit on that thing.
You think like a social media influencer. Like these are like what you're saying right now is kind of like how those people think. Like, why don't you have your own YouTube channel where you're fucking just spitting fucking Billy's wisdom? Why?
Billy's Facts. You can even call your YouTube channel Billy's Facts.
Yeah, Backs.
I've thought about it because I've like recently accepted, like I'm always like, yeah, I totally live a normal fucking life, and then I've recently accepted, like, after the more people I meet, and I'm like, this guy's boring, holy fuck, the world is boring, maybe I just don't live a normal fucking life.
Billy, I can tell you, out of all people, you don't.
Billy, I don't think I've ever thought of you as a guy that lives a normal life.
Ever in my life.
I would say
like the
that
stories you have and the places you've been and the shit you've done, there's no way that you're living a normal life. Like I live a normal, boring life. You live like Billy's life.
And not just that, but it's also like the things Billy has done. Like what I associate Billy with is like I've told you this before, Clinton, but like some of the fondest memories that I have with Billy is cruising around his Camaro, and it was like,
oh yeah.
And the thing was, remember, it would, dude. There was a period where it was like I would say every 5 weeks you bought and sold a new Camaro.
Yeah.
So like bro, like that ain't normal. That ain't something everybody else does. Like you were like you rolled to school and it was like we heard you coming. Like, then it was like, and somebody be like, "Fucking Billy Fletcher, dude, he got a new Camaro again." And you're like,
I don't even think somebody would be like that. I think it's just everybody, but it wasn't like anything that was out of the norm. It's like, oh, he's got another car.
That's what I'm saying. It was just like deja vu. Like I'm like, yeah, I know he got a new Camaro, and they're like, no, he got another new Camaro. you're like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, but now it's a different one. And you're like, it doesn't make sense. You're talking crazy, man. And then you go outside and you're like,
oh,
what's up, guys? And then you're like in some totally different fucking car. Yeah, like,
all the time. Like Billy, out of all the ones that you've had, did you ever have a favorite one? Like Camaro?
Oh yes, that's an easy question to answer.
All right, give it to me. Not literally though. Don't get gay on me.
The white Camaro with orange stripes.
That's the one I think of. That's the one I think.
That is the. I swear to God, I remember that one too.
That's the one we cruised around in, Billy. That is.
Yeah, remember when we were with the Europeans and we were doing donuts and it like started to overheat in the Walmart parking lot?
Well, that one doesn't. I do remember that vaguely, but if I want to be honest with you, here's what I remember the most. What I remember the most is that you were always blasting. What the fuck was that band?
Found a Local H.
No, it wasn't Local H. It was the other one.
Offspring. Because that's
dude,
what I remember.
Still my favorite band.
Bro,
they're still my favorite. They're still my favorite band, and I've crowd surfed to them when they encored Self-Esteem and try to climb on stage.
Yeah, no, and Offspring is amazing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Offspring, but here's what I want to say, and I'm going to give you some. I'm going to be honest. Okay, this is some negative feedback on. This is the only negative thing I have to say about that. Great times, but the stereo in that 1985 Camaro was shit, bro.
Well, it definitely was.
Bro. Here's the thing.
Yeah, but it's Billy. And Billy doesn't give a shit. He's got Offspring.
Billy just fucking. Here's the thing. All these Offspring songs, Billy would crank the motherfuck out of this stereo system, and it would just be like the tweeters would just be like, and he would just like, it sounds great, dude. And I was like, oh, dude.
Billy be looking at you. Doesn't it sound good? Doesn't it sound good?
But you know what the great thing about it is? For anybody that wasn't there, don't know how shitty the speakers were, so the story just sounds nostalgic.
True.
This is true. We give that to Billy.
Yeah, and it's not like I ever told. Well, I did. I know, but I mean, when I think about the Camaro, what bring like it's not about you personally. It's more of like I think, man, those 1985 Camaros really had pretty shitty stereo systems. Like it's not like it's their fault, but the tweeters were really bad. But I do remember that, and I do remember blasting that shit to high heaven. But yeah,
I actually just told someone a story about you recently. I don't know if Clinton wanted. Well, okay, first I'll get to that. Before I get to the story I want to tell, I just gotta say, Mrs. Newman, fuck you.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can both. I mean, we can all agree on that.
Wait, who the hell is Miss Newman?
You don't remember Mrs. Newman, dude?
Which one? What teacher was she? Was she a teacher?
No, she was our neighbor. She was my neighbor.
Yeah. Well, don't you remember we had like a short-lived band? We only had 2 songs. One was called One was called The Cool Song. One was called Mrs. Newman, Fuck You. And Clint was our unofficial lead singer, but he really just made moaning noises that sounded cool in the microphone.
Oh my God. See, I don't remember the Clinton aspect, but I'm sure he was there. But
I remember
do
doing something like that.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. But I do remember like Mr. and Mrs. Newman, they were pissed about like the jamming in the garage. And it wasn't until I also used to jam with Nick Longworth, and it was the same thing. It was like almost the same time. I was basically cheating on both of you with the other in terms of like
That's all right.
I'm joking. I mean, obviously it's not.
I know.
But it was like we like that's when I sort of like discovered like, oh, I like jamming with people, and but you guys weren't really. You guys didn't really intersect, because I don't think you guys would have even liked each other. You probably wouldn't have gotten along, So like even Clinton and I have talked about that. Like we have friend groups that don't intersect really. Like it's like he hasn't really hung out with Nick Bolton, and I have, but it's like they probably would get along, but it just never happened, But like,
I know Nick Bolton. I got along with him.
Yeah, no, but he's easy to get along with. I'm just saying that like it just never it never really intersected in terms of like, Clinton and he would probably be great friends if they ever had the situation where they actually talked on fucking MSN Messenger and about bodybuilding and all this kind of stuff. Like that's actually partly how I started talking to Nick Bolton. I'm just saying like there's all sorts of stuff, right? But I lost my train of thought.
Not to caveat off that, not to change anything, but this fucking story, I remember we were drinking at that cabin. I think it was your grandparents' cabin.
Yeah, it's still there.
We were like driving their Jeep Commander around, whatever, and then we're in there drinking. There's like chicks, dudes, whatever. We're just hanging out at that circle table.
Wait, before you start, what are you? Aren't you in a Commander right now, Billy?
No, I have a Jeep Gladiator that's lifted on 37s.
Oh yeah, that's a Jeep Commander. That then, I didn't know that.
That's pretty.
I knew it was lifted, but I didn't know what kind it was.
Yeah, I got 37-inch tires and a 4-inch rough country lift.
That sounds amazing, dude.
And the sides come off.
Yeah, I'm in it right now.
Do it.
So,
are they off right now,
Billy? Clinton, we're at this table.
He's trying to tell a story.
Go
ahead. Sorry, Billy.
And like I remember like that whole day was just adventurous, hanging out because parents are out of town, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like totally. Hold on, let me turn my Uconnect. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Could you not hear us?
Okay, I can now.
Okay.
Anyways, so I'm just totally paranoid. Like, you sure this is okay? He's like, yeah, it's cool. They're gone. Like, they're not even home. And then, like, 10 seconds later, his fucking grandparents walk in as I'm, like, holding a beer in my hand, sitting at this table. And
bro,
like,
you know that was like 6 hours later, though. I mean, you're remembering it as like 10 minutes, but it was like we had a whole night of getting wasted and hammered and all this shit, and then all of a sudden at the end of the night they came in. That's how I remember
it. At your grandparents' campsite?
Yeah, the campsite. Yeah,
I remember. Was I there? I feel like there was one time I was there.
I think you might have been.
As I remember going out there at one point, and maybe it was that night. It could have been a different night too, because I know I went out there at least a couple times, and we had a bunch of.
You went there a lot. You went there a lot of the nights. I mean, the only time that you weren't there basically was when it was like coordinated through like the Nick Longworth.
Because I remember I was out there one night and freaking that was that night that Zach Owen tried to steal your Jeep.
No, it was actually it wasn't Zach Owen. It was actually Zach Flanagan.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I can hear you guys, but the volume got quieter for some reason.
I think that's I think you did.
Turn it up make sure your phone's turned up.
You switched devices.
I did. I think it is me because I started my Jeep and went to Uconnect, and then I got out, and now I'm not on Uconnect.
Fuck.
You know what? Maybe I'll just get back in my Jeep and connect to my Uconnect, since my Jeep is so much better than my 1987 Camaro.
Okay, hey man, are you
Oh.
getting sensitive about that 1987 Camaro? No, are you getting a little sensitive about that?
I'm just kidding.
I know,
Hold on,
I
let's see
know.
here.
Dude, I actually like I forgot actually how subtle your humor is, Billy. Like you've got a very subtle sense of humor. And
Yeah, he says things here and there. It's just funny.
No, but he gets.
I feel like
he gets the nuance. He actually does get the nuance.
Yeah.
Like he's a subtle comedian. He's got his yeah.
He's got his quirks.
No, I'm saying he gets it. He gets it.
I've somewhat, in some terms, in my old age, I've gotten to be more blunt, but then otherwise, I've understanding the dynamics of communication where I almost got to tone it down a little bit for different audiences because not everybody is the same and their feelings might get hurt.
Not everybody is equality, baby. Not everybody.
No, like, okay, like example, like I was always like, let me give a prime example of what I'm about to say or what I mean, in other words. So you know how they like always say like no politics at the bar, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
You know, like
fuck that.
So I've always kind of been like, well, fuck that, freedom of speech. I'll talk about wherever the fuck I want.
Yep, that's the Billy I know.
Baby, First Amendment. What's up?
The Billy I know right there.
But even though there is truth to that, I'm kind of like, all right, it never ends in a good, like really nothing good ever comes out of it. So it is really easier to just not talk about it at the bar unless you're like amongst kind of like how we are.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
Like as much as I hate to say that because it's like,
it's not a
I mean,
bad
like,
thing, Billy. You've really chilled out though. You know, now that you're in your old age, so you say, even though I'm older than you, but I mean, so screw you, Billy.
But now here is an example of like where my bluntness with my older being blunt. So like, I like to date like younger chicks in their 20s. Not like fucking, when I say younger, I don't mean like chomo young. I know what you mean.
I know you're not, Billy.
Because I'm like,
that's your brother
still a
Brandon.
good-looking guy. Right? So, hey, where did Cole go?
He ran out to the kitchen. He's getting some tea. He's getting some tea.
I'm still hearing you. Go on.
Okay, so like there's this chick I've been talking to. She's only like 22, kind of robbing the cradle, but she's old enough to go to the bar. And I'm not super interested in her, but I'm like, if I can still like pull young chicks at 36, like they're in their 20s and they're still attracted to me and I can find some common ground, like why would I start dating some old bag like when I still got swagger, So
I love the younger women, in their 20s, like either early 20s or mid 20s. That's where it's at. But then again, the thing is about them is they're never worth the time really when it comes to dating because they're just too young. And it's like,
I told her this chick wants to date me, kind of, I think. I don't know. She pretty much said that she would date me. And I just told her flat out, I'm on a mission right now, like, because I get unemployment all winter. And basically, I'm just going to travel all winter and have a good life. And I said, like, listen, this is the deal. Like, the best way to keep me is let me do whatever the fuck I want. I said, if we date, I'm not going to cheat on you. I'll be loyal to you. But I'm going to New Jersey for 3 months, and I might leave the country for a couple weeks. And like, if like you want to be with me, just know that like,
how would you feel about that? Like, if you like went and partied with her like somewhere else, like in Jersey.
I'm cool with that to an extent, but I like my own time too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really just need like a 3-day-a-week girlfriend.
But bro, but here, Billy, can I just do a little like sort of what would you call it? Like a little bit of a. Okay.
Absolutely.
Here's what I'm gonna say. That is how every fucking dude feels. You just described like men. the problem is that you have to adapt to what your priorities are. So it's like, yeah, every person feels that way. Every guy feels that way, but it's like, do I want to have children? Do I want to have a family? Do I want to like cooperate with the opposite sex or not? And like when you cooperate with the opposite sex, as crazy as they are and as crazy as they think we are, it's like, yeah, but you know, like, yeah, we all feel that way. Like you just literally laid out like a Saturday Night Live like scenario for, it's like, what I want from a lady is to let me do whatever the fuck I want, and I told her that's what I want to do.
I want that. I want my girl 3 days a week and no more than that. And when I see her, it's sex. Maybe give her a little bit of money, and then she's making me sandwiches, and that is called equality. And that's what I say to that.
And so what I'm saying is like, bro, I'm not sitting here like from a super liberal perspective, but I'm just saying that like, okay, I hear your point, because one thing you said when I was out in the kitchen, which I think is like, I also don't want to demonize your position, because I think your position is really interesting, which is like, hey, if I can still pull chicks that, you know, are like, that I would consider like sort of in their prime, hot, whatever, blah, 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 and I don't have to settle for somebody older, why should I? And from a certain point of view, it's like, yeah, I actually agree with you. It's like, I mean, you really don't have to settle. But eventually, you will not be able to pull those chicks. And eventually, you will only be able to pull the cougars and the whatever and the blah, blah, blah. So it's like, do you really want to be that guy who's single, who's able to pull cougars like 20 years from now? Or 20 years from now, do you want to be a guy who's got a little house by the lake, and he's got like some grandchildren running around and some things happening like that, and like he's going out and fixing the dirt bike instead of buying a new one? You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying?
I mean,
like,
to be honest with you, like, I'm somewhere in between. Like, yeah, like when I'm that age, I still want to be going buy the new dirt bike, and then I'll go fix the dirt bike.
Okay, but forget the dirt bike. Forget the dirt bike in this scenario. I'm talking about the lady relation.
No, I do get, okay, so I get 100% what you're saying, and now here's my response to that.
Yeah.
So first, I'll tell you the joking response first. Well, in 20 years, well, I'm 20 years older. They'll just be 20 years younger, but 20 years older than what they are now. But anyways, so
This is
lovely.
no.
So-
I mean, Billy, that is
no, my real
logical point. I get it.
my real response to that is this. So right now, I'm just gonna keep doing me. I'm not gonna let anyone interrupt that. Now, if I met a chick that I really like, let's just say I went to Sweden or Cyprus, or let's just say I went on a trip, and I'm like, I really vibed with this chick I met, and I'm like, dude, I'd like to keep this girl in my life.
Didn't
I would
didn't that
choose to
happen
do it.
with you and that
Well-
Russian chick in Thailand? Didn't you
Well, I
guys have
left.
like something? Yeah, I know, but you guys had like something going on for quite a while, did you not?
Well, I mean, I still talk to her. I gotta get her to America. Anyways,
Dude, what are you waiting
hold
for?
on. So
You're Billy. What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
hold on, I got.
Fucking guy.
So
Pissing me off,
let's say I went to Sweden and I met this chick and I liked her and I decided to stay with her because
Sure.
I liked her. That's what I would do. I would settle down. I'd settle down as opposed to be with her. I wouldn't settle my life down. I would still continue to live life. I'll get to that in a minute. And I would continue to live life and I would be with her. But here's the thing. Now here's where the gamble is. Rolling the dice.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Sometimes
Let's hear it.
now this is funny. Now this is really funny from a guy that will not go to the casino and gamble. But here's the thing about gambling: you got to bet big to win big. So I'm 100% willing to do what I just said. Okay, but I'm also not willing to settle for something less than what I want just because I feel like people do that because I feel like that's what they're supposed to do to live this life of what society tells us. I'm literally willing. I'm willing to die on the mountain by myself because I like my mountain and I'm okay being alone. And honestly, sometimes that's the best way to be.
Bro.
I'm sorry, dude, but I just like I can't, like, if I see Clinton, if I look at his face at the end, like, I'm sorry, he cracked me up. Like, just the last part of what you're saying, like,
Am I
I was
funny
really
looking to you now?
Hold on. I was really invested in what Billy was saying, and then I'm looking at you, and you're going like,
I couldn't help myself. I'm chilling.
But do you kind of get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying.
No, actually, to be completely honest, before you hold your thought, Cole, Billy's it's probably about the most realistic perspective that you can have. Like, I mean, I agree with him. Like, that's not like there. I mean, he's not wrong. Like, Billy's one of those people where when he's gonna settle down, right? He's gonna do it, but it's gonna be when he wants to, and not on somebody else's time, and that's respectable. Because and everybody,
and I don't have
because
and I don't have like what you just said, Clint, is so accurate. But I don't have like a timeline. It could be in 30 years from now. It could be never, or it could be tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? I just take things for the come, and then I run
so this is the only place where we're gonna like meet some resistance, and it's not because I'm trying to convince you of anything or because I think I'm right. It's more like I agree with you in principle, but the problem is that you literally have a finite time within a certain. I mean, first of all, you have a finite time on planet Earth as Billy. And then secondly, you have a finite time at any given phase of your life. So like right now you are still in like a, like we are all in a phase where like we are still basically kind of young. We can still sort of we can keep up with the younger generation. We can still do stuff and like
we can still pull 20-year-olds.
Yeah, but whatever you're saying. I'm saying like even if it just comes to like what we do with work, creativity, whatever, all the stuff. But we are eventually going to become elders, and like it's easy and fine to say now, like it was when we were 18 or anything like that. Like, oh well, everything will eventually whatever. But these things are all trade-off scenarios, right? So it's like, what are you trading for putting something out indefinitely? Like at a certain point, you have to kind of make a philosophical proposition where you're like, I'm going to take on the challenge. Even though it's not ideal and it's not perfect, I'm going to take on the challenge of a long-term relationship and understand the fact that it's not going to be 100% what I want, and it will not be 100% what that person wants. Not everybody's made for that, by the way. I'm not saying you have to do that, but to me, like, it doesn't really matter if you do it now or 10 years from now. That's what a relationship is. A good relationship is essentially like this weird mission that you go on where you say, I'm not going to give up. And people give up.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I can totally
about it like battle. You go into battle, you're in Vietnam, and it's like the relationship is that thing where it's like no man left behind. Nobody gets left behind. And then when you break up with somebody frivolously, it's kind of like it's like abandoning the person on the fucking battlefield. That's a way of thinking about it that I think is interesting. Like think about it like going into war and being like a soldier of love, No,
that is true. But then if you do end up with someone and like it just don't work out, then it becomes like stolen valor. They're not an honorable soldier no more.
well, hold
damn,
on.
Billy. Okay, I want to hear Cole's retort because that was actually shit, Billy. I like that. Stolen valor. Wow.
Okay,
all right, let's hear the retort.
But whose fault is it? Like if I go into a battlefield and and I get abandoned on the battlefield by my comrades. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I get abandoned on the battlefield. Like then they weren't my comrades. Like if I get abandoned and somebody just like full out, fucks me, then it's like, okay, they're not on my side. They're basically an enemy of the cause. Like we're not on the same.
Well, then
army.
At that point, you drive on with the mission and ride your own wave and fuck them.
I know. I'm just saying that, like, agreed. But now we're
I get
the analogy, to limits here.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I didn't understand it as well the first time, but I get what you're saying.
Like think about it. Like no matter like. Give me a scenario where like you would ever go into a relationship. Like what would the ideal scenario look like? It'll never be ideal. That's the problem. Is like you have to.
No, that's true. There's give take. It's just like, it's give take, but there's got to be more pros and the cons. Like,
Agreed.
if right, like sure,
Or maybe you're looking at the
it's
wrong
like giving
place.
away. Okay, here's a good example. Let's say you have a fucking really hot chick that fucks your brains out. She's super nice and witty. You get along with her well, but she can't fucking make a sandwich worth shit. Well, you're gonna give her a waiver. You're gonna give her hold on. You're gonna give her a waiver that she can't make a sandwich worth shit because she does all these other awesome things.
We'll put her on a retainer then.
I mean, now realistically,
Boy, bro.
like okay, yeah. Okay, no, the sandwich. Like in the real world here, the sandwich isn't a huge issue. I could go to Subway and get a fucking sandwich.
You mean putting an effort?
But the sandwich is just
I feel like a sandwich is a metaphor for
I'm using
food in general, though. Not like specifically
speaking, I'm just using
sandwich.
No. The
Yeah,
sandwich is a metaphor for putting in the work, because there's this thing in the zeitgeist where it's like women think they are the table. You know, have you guys seen that meme where it's like where they're like they ask on TikTok where they're like, "What do you bring?" You know,
oh
this is something
God, don't even get me started on those.
Hold on. But they
God.
complain, right? Hold on, but there's a certain contingent of women, not all, they go like. They respond to this idea of like men saying in the modern dating scene, "What do you bring to the table?"
Are you talking about that podcast where that dude brings those women on there?
No. But I'm saying in general, like this is like a trend that's been going on TikTok where it's like women respond to videos where they're like, "What do you bring to the table?" And then they basically all kind of go like, "I am the table."
Oh God.
Okay, so I know exactly. Hold on, I know exactly what.
I was totally lost.
No, I know what Cole. Yeah, I know exactly what Cole's talking about. And this is more of an issue. This is more of an issue in America because I've dated fucking women from, like, I hate to say this because America's an awesome country, but we don't have the most awesome women. We have the shittiest fucking women. European women are way fucking better.
About, bro.
What?
Well, she's from a.
But I said that's my mom you're talking about because all of our moms are American women. So I'm just, it's like that.
Well, right, but they're right. But here's the thing: they're from a different era. They're like,
okay, I'm joking. You know, continue with your point. You were making a point. Go on.
You know who predicted the downfall? Lenny Kravitz. American woman, stay away from me.
I did not see that coming.
American woman,
dude.
Mama,
no, because think about it. Think about it. Like there's.
wanna see your face no more. Now, woman.
No, but I think that's
we have fucked up society. Like, okay, here's a prime example of the modern day American women. So you get like a 25-year-old chick at the bar, thinks her shit don't stink. She probably does OnlyFans. She's not willing to go to work. She's got more baggage than Delta Airlines and 3 different kids from 3 different fucking dads. And she's got the audacity to ask me what the fuck I'm bringing to the table.
Well, your response could be a hell of a lot less luggage and baggage than you.
No, what you tell them is you say, I'm bringing my time, and that's the most valuable thing on planet Earth.
Well, yeah, I mean, bro, like, first of all, yes, exactly. Like, you 100% understand what I'm talking about in terms of the zeitgeist. But I think, you know, at the same time, I mean, our response, like a person's response to that can be a little bit like, how do you really respond to that? Because you said, for instance, like, I'm bringing my time. But to me, that sounds kind of equivalent to like what they're saying, which is like, I'm bringing me, I am the table. And it's like, actually, I think a person who's not just trying to bring the table has to actually, the burden is on them to actually say, you know what? Let me do a little audit. I'm going to give you a little rundown. Here's exactly what the fuck I'm doing. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this.
No.
But I'm saying, like,
No.
Okay, I'm just saying
Okay,
that
this is
like
here's
a lot of
here's the
times
issue. This whole
ladies are not
TikTok thing is
keeping
an issue
track
because
of
it
what you're
shouldn't be
actually
about
doing.
it shouldn't be about who brings what to the table. Like that is
I
not what a
know that.
relationship is. If you go into a
I know that,
relationship and you're just like, oh, I do this and I do that, I don't fucking care.
bro. But listen, I just want to say I understand that. But what I'm telling you is that people are sort of like there are moments in our lives, it's part of our psyche where we do have a sort of like risk benefit, sort of like just black white analysis of
No,
there is a part of us unconsciously that is keeping track of that. Like even if you think, oh, I hope you don't notice, like I hope you don't think about when I take out the garbage versus when I don't or whatever. But like every single human being has we are keeping track of that stuff subconsciously, and when it goes awry we do get annoyed. Like if you and I were roommates and like I
oh yeah.
always was the one who took out the garbage, even if I'm not like consciously thinking about
Yeah,
it
but you
over
know the difference between the man and the woman, though? Like, if we were roommates and we were doing that, and, like, say you had been bringing out the garbage for the last 2 weeks, and I hadn't done shit to do it, you'd be like, bro, are you ever going to bring this fucking garbage out? Holy fuck. And you'd be like, okay, now it's your turn.
but
The woman
that's
is going
exactly
to the woman is just going to expect you to do it. And that's where, like, the whole issue comes into play, because it's like, okay, the women, well, we shouldn't, the women are like, well, we shouldn't have to tell you to do something. And it's like, okay,
that's
I
common refrain.
get that. You should just want to do it, or you should just do it without us having to tell you. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but everybody in a relationship has different levels of what they tolerate. How long something goes, how long they let something go. Maybe sometimes you've got men who are like super neat and super tidy, and they can't, that's how they are. I think maybe probably the average man or majority of men are kind of like, they tend to be able to just let things go for a while and be like, okay, and then they go and do it, when they see it. It's like, oh shit, I better do this quick. But the woman, it's like, how come you haven't done this yet? And it's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I just brought the garbage. I've been bringing the garbage out. It's like, well, you've been doing it. You do it. If you want me to do it, why can't you just tell me, say, it's not, what am I going to do? Sit there. What am I going to do? Sit there and be like, no. So like the average woman seems like they don't want to communicate things that the needs they want.
Can we address that for a second? Because like, if we just take it to like what's actually happening, like let's think about what we're learning about the male and female psyche here.
Okay.
The male psyche is actually sort of at a point, like we're operating on a level where we're like, okay, try to optimize, and when things are going well, keep it going as long as possible. Like if it's good, like let the inertia.
Yeah, but that's bad though. We shouldn't have to worry like that.
No, but listen, what I'm saying is that I think that's the male brain, is like to sort of like optimize, push, and then to like bask in the glow of like satisfaction of something having happened. And I think like women might be more geared toward like, what are social norms? What are social expectations? Like I need to drive like I need to drive the provider to provide more. I need to be like a fire under the ass of the person, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think evolutionarily, like we just have to try to like pinpoint like what are the actual things, because the fact that we have these stereotypes and these commonalities points to an evolutionary foundation. It's like there is something about the way men and women think differently, where it's like we just have to like instead of just
that's called testosterone and estrogen.
What's that?
Yeah, of course we're gonna think different. That's called testosterone and estrogen.
Well, yeah. There's a chemical basis for a lot of things, but I'm just saying, like in general, we also have different roles to serve. You know what I mean? Like you have to think about like if we were in a tribe 300,000 years ago without any technology, and we had to cooperate, but we also were competing. So men and women and other men and women who were grouped together, not grouped together, tribes, whatever, a loose affiliation, like what becomes a tribe, all of that is like a cooperation between men and women to do certain things. Right. And men and women have historically served different roles to survive. And I think that's where a lot of the big problems come in, is like a lot of the stuff makes sense when you see it from an evolutionary psychology point of view, but it's like when you try to impose like all these modern ideas on it, you think, oh, that doesn't look fair, that doesn't whatever. And it's like, it's actually just because that's what men and women do naturally. So it's like,
okay, hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
So I have something I want to say because I just said this basically same thing to someone else. I didn't quite say it as good as you because I couldn't figure out in my mind how to explain myself. So I'm all about like here's an example. Like I'm pretty middle ground on equal rights. Like as a man, as a woman, naturally we are gonna flock to a certain direction because we have estrogen and testosterone. We're not the same. So there's certain things that they're gonna do better and certain things we're gonna do better naturally. Now, obviously, that's not 100% true. 100 that's not true 100% of the time, but like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, that's going to be how it is because we're just not the same. So I'm very about like there's a certain path a man's going to take and a certain path a woman's going to take. Now, but I'm also like like I don't think women, like some guys like, oh, like a woman should just be at home barefooted doing dishes. I don't believe in that at all. Like they should be treated, fairly. I don't think like obviously like as far as jobs go, like I'm really like I joke around about sandwiches, but like a woman should never be sexually harassed. They should be able to go to their job and make a living without being fucking harassed or anything like that. Like I'm not a scumbag, but there is just a
Oh,
certain
okay.
path we naturally take.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. But I mean,
Like I'm not like oh I can't do dishes because I'm a man. Like honestly, every girl I've ever dated, I don't even like let do my laundry because my anxiety kills me so bad. Like oh, are they gonna put it on the wrong setting? Are they gonna shrink my clothes?
That sounds like a woman right there. Shit.
but isn't this funny? Is like we have these stereotypes and we have this pushback in the culture against the stereotypes, but we still like when you see the you guys have to understand like zooming in on Park Rapids compared to the rest of the world is a zoom in. Like you don't understand. Like this is it's collecting a sample of reality that is like quite isolated compared to other samples of reality. Like oh, how would people in New York react to this? How would people in Kentucky, Louisville, or like when you talk about capital cities versus like small enclaves, this sentiment is actually quite it's like in its own petri dish. That's something we have
Right.
to actually realize. But that being said, I forgot my main point.
Well, I will say, out of all three of us, obviously, Cole has the coolest hairstyle.
I wouldn't
And
actually hold on a second. Hold on a second. That has never been
but
tested.
Clinton has the best facial expressions. He's got facial expressions for his facial expressions.
Some days, yeah.
That's interesting.
And
Yeah,
Billy's got the
Clinton
best
reacting to
stories
Clinton.
and exciting life.
And I got green eyes. I'm rare, motherfucker.
You got what?
No, but this.
I got green eyes.
Nice.
No, but the male female thing is a super interesting topic of conversation. Like, I guess the original point I was trying to make was just that like, people run in these circles of kind of like complaining about stuff that is ultimately roles that we would have had evolutionarily. Like it's like the thing that annoys you about women, the thing that annoys you about women is the same thing that actually makes them like good evolutionarily. And the thing that annoys women about us is actually the things that make us good evolutionarily. Otherwise, we sort of like wouldn't be here. It's like the generations before us have like naturally selected like I'm gonna go for this type of guy, and then the guys are like I'm gonna go with this type of chick, and like even though the chicks have more choice, which is why we have this weird disparity of like incels and stuff, like it's easier for chicks to get laid and less easy for men to get laid, is just that's just how our ancestors did it. It is just like it just makes sense. It's like okay, females have most to lose in a sexual scenario. So it's like we
but
can
they got the most to gain in marriage.
Well, no, but hold on. But just
Unless
like
you
from
sign a prenup.
like let's start from basic principles, Billy. Like imagine that we were all like in like a post-apocalyptic world where we don't have like judges saying whatever like child support is or anything like that, blah blah blah. Just think like in terms of the actual reality of the situation. If you're a woman and you're going around sleeping with multiple men and blah blah blah, like and you're just horny and you're just letting that be your sort of like whatever like reality. If you get
That's what
pregnant,
me and Clinton are looking for.
but I'm saying if you get pregnant in that situation, it's going to be everybody's going to be talking about it. It's going to be big news. Everybody wants to know who the father is. It's and you're going to have to actually give physical birth to a child. Like it's so much wrapped into it, like sexuality from a female perspective versus a male. Like we are like, hey, you can hit it and quit it. That's an option. Like you can literally like just go around and like fuck chicks and just be like, oh, I'm never gonna see that person again, and then they have to deal with the consequences of like the mutual.
Well, yeah, but isn't that contradictory
That
to
affects
what
our
you said,
psychology.
though? Because if a woman's going out and doing that, she's making that choice.
I know she's making that choice, but I'm saying like
Yeah,
that.
and also she can use birth control.
No, but I'm saying like I don't think women are as primed to make that choice, which is in general what like why women are choosier. I'm trying to make that point. Like women are choosier than men are.
Yeah.
This is statistically. I mean, we all know this, right? Like it's easier for a chick, any given random chick, like any random dude will settle for like a 5 or a 6 if he's horny and he's out and it's like whatever.
Fuck, I'll
But
even do a 3 or a
They
2,
gotta be at
even
least.
a
They
1.
gotta be. They gotta be at least a 7 for me, even if I'm drunk.
No, not me. I don't give a fuck. Give me a 1 and I'm drunk. Fuck it.
I'm not in my 20s no more. I don't want no fat bitch.
Okay, well, that's one criteria, but that's the point. Is like, but for like this is actually like this is all backed up by.
Hey, sometimes the fatter the woman, the bigger the titties. That's what I'm all about. As long as she's,
well,
as long as she got some curves and some big tits, why not? Let them hang right in my face and just.
I like a fine wine.
I'm not going to comment on anybody's taste in women, but here's the
I'm not settling for the booze form.
Jesus.
Hell, I want her as big as she can be, and then I can say, "Feed me, Seymour, feed me." Feed me, Seymour, feed me.
You'll never go hungry, at least.
Oh, Jesus.
Fill me up, Buttercup.
I mean,
my fucking nose is dry as hell.
Have you guys seen the like I got exposed to this yesterday randomly. It was this apparently it's been circulating on the internet since 2024, but it's this pretty skinny dude and he's sitting there and it's literally this chick, like his girlfriend, recording, and then she says like,
yes, the one at the table, and he's supposed to be terrified for himself, and it's like, what is happening behind the scenes? He's like, yes, he's scared for his life. What about it?
Yeah, and then I sort of like, Billy, are you aware of that?
No.
It's like a meme. Maybe between the two of us, we can explain.
I honestly, when you said it, I thought you were gonna say it was a meme with a little skinny white guy and some fat chick.
Well, that's what it is.
It is. But it,
but it's a little more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, like, this chick is recording this guy, and somebody does this edit where it's like Batman, like Christian Bale Batman with Michael Keaton. No, not Michael Keaton.
Wait, I haven't seen this. I've seen the actual video referring to. I've never seen this meme.
Oh, that's how I got
Clinton. It's you.
Is
it me?
No, but I got exposed to this meme like recently. But it was
no.
It was
his
so
fat chick is ugly. I'd like the one that has a nice face at least. What now?
I think like in The Dark Knight, there's this point where like Alfred and Bruce are looking at the screen of like the Joker uploading stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the Joker is uploading stuff, and there's this scene with like the Hans Zimmer music, and it's like. It's like
I know.
Yeah. And they're sitting there, and then like, so the meme is basically where like they show like the scene of Batman and Alfred watching it, and then they cut to the screen, which would have been the Joker, but instead it's it's that video. And then they keep like, they cut back just like they do on the movie, like where like Alf, you know, and like and Bruce is just like looking at it, and it really gets the sense across, like, oh god. And then everybody in the comments is like, okay, boys, we got to rescue bro. Like, this is like, it really galvanizes people to be like, fuck, dude. Like, we got to rescue this guy. Like, this is fucked.
Hey, Cole, I have an idea.
Yeah.
You know, since Clint say likes big women and he used to always dress up like Batman, we should make a meme. It's like Clint dressed up as Bat.
Hold on a second.
Oh, okay, well, so Clint could be dressed up like fucking Batman or Robin, and then he'll be with some fat chick dressed like the Penguin.
As long as you got a nice face, I don't care.
I mean, that's fair enough, dude.
I don't mind that.
Oh man.
Okay, but not to change. So this is something what I really discovered about after traveling the world and getting some really good friends from Europe and Southeast Asia. This is one thing that really irks me about America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so first rewind for a second about living a crazy life, which I think is just normal and adventurous. When people ask me to describe my life, I just tell them, watch the movie Point Break. That's how I live my life.
Jesus. I love,
you know, especially, you know,
watch that movie, you'll understand me. That's a good one.
So, you like, yeah, and then they got the newer one too, where they, like, you remember bro, he's like surfing. He's not just, the newer one is not just surfing, he's dirt biking, he's skydiving. He's like fucking listening to awesome EDM lounge music on this little party on a yacht. Like, I'm like, that's fucking living life right there. All they need is some Florida cash in the background.
Exactly, dude. You got it. Yeah.
But anyways, so
fucking brown
what
noser.
really irks me. No, I'm being serious though. In like America, they feel like, okay, once you turn 30, and it's like like, it's okay if this is what you want to do, but sometimes people just do what they think they're supposed to do because like people tell them that. Like in these small towns, like they just turn 30 and they just completely quit living life and they're like, oh, I'm old now. 30's not old. Like, I mean, it's not young. Like, the average male is 76 years.
It kind of is. Like, think about it. Like, okay, if you want to think about whether 30 is old or young compared to life in general, like if you just give yourself like a generous span of 100 years, like, think that's kind of maxing out, you know?
Well, let's say 70. The average man dies at 76 years.
No, what I'm saying, like, I think it's healthy to think in terms of maxing, and then, like, you know, you do your best. But like, you got 100 years, right? If you look at a scale and you look at people that live to be 100, and you actually look at it and you're like, okay, so like, if you look at like Morgan Freeman, like some of these other like actors that, you know, we associate, like we've grown up with them in the 90s, they look the same age then as they basically do now, a lot of them. And but if you look at them,
TRT,
like,
baby,
if you look at them when they were in their 20s or 30s, they're very different people. So actually, what I would say is that, like, when you're 30, you're actually way closer. Like, if we think about a scale of 0 to 100, you're so much closer to, like, 10 years ago you were 20. A little bit more than 10 years ago you were in high school. Like, you actually are young at 30. You're young at 35. Like,
yeah.
Like how long have you been an adult versus how long you might be an adult? You know?
See, like, that part is true. But what I'm just saying is, like, it irks me because people, like, when I go to Thailand, they're not like, oh, I'm 50 years old, so I'm going to be old and boring and crabby now. They just wake up and they live life and they have a good time. Like, America doesn't seem to do that. They put a number on everything.
Billy, let's at least be real here. Like, okay.
From a broad perspective, they do that.
You've traveled around America, I'm sure, as well. Like, you and I both know. Okay, you wake up, you know, you wake up in Minneapolis on January 31st, That's a
You're gonna
different
remember
world.
your point.
That's a very different world from waking up in January 31st in, you know, Baton Rouge, Florida, or Austin, Texas, or Seattle,
Right.
or Los Angeles, or, you know, Nashville. The point is, like, they're like, we can't reduce, like, America is such a diverse, like, culture. That's one of the things that I learned touring around, was like the vibe from like one region to the next. Like, we're in New York City, and now we're in South Carolina, now we're in Austin, Texas, it was like going to different countries, dude. Like, people have a completely unique and different vibe. So we do have to understand, we come from a big motherfucking like monolith of a country, where it's like you can get a sense of like how the French are, or how the Dutch are, or how the Germans are. But Americans, that doesn't even make sense. It's more like, how are the East Coast people? How are the West Coast people? How are people in the Midwest? How are people in Florida? You know, people in Florida are very different from people in Portland, Oregon. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
they're way cooler.
Yeah, but well, whatever you think about it, it's just like, it's hard to say, like, oh, Americans are this. At this point, it's extremely hard to say like what Americans are. But
Well, you want to know what a big part of that too is what I try to explain to a lot of Europeans is our state is the size of a fucking country. So if you think about the north, the south, the east, the west, it's almost like 4 countries within one fucking country.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like in Europe, you know, I could fly to England right now. I could fly to England right now, and I can take that fucking new train system thing they got to Amsterdam. I could go back to England and then drive to Wales, or like it's like driving to countries over there is like driving through states here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like my Express's parents, every summer they go to Croatia and Kosovo and stuff like that. They just drive from Sweden. It takes them like 2 days. It's like driving kind of like not even Midwest to LA, and then they're down in like southeast Europe. I mean, they're down in like the Italy, sort of Balkan regions. Yeah, it's crazy. It's totally.
There's like this group of Ukrainians and these Brazilians, and there's like this little house they all party at, and I usually go to the better place, then I go with them to these after parties, because like
shit, Clinton, you got to get in on these after parties. Billy got to invite Clinton. What are you doing, man? Get Clinton in on this shit.
Yeah, Clinton. Yeah, you gotta come, because like.
I mean, I'll do it for content.
Because like you want to know what I hate the most about Park Rapids?
What's that, Billy?
Everyone thinks that a 5-inch inseam is too short on the shorts.
What?
They don't wear short enough shorts here or listen to lounge music.
I know what you mean. I do like shorts.
I like to wear shorts above my knees, bro.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Like, I like that.
5-inch inseam.
What the fuck? Are we all like are we like 3 clones of the same guy?
We're the Shorts brothers.
Bro,
we're like the 3 Shorts.
Dude, there's just no style.
Like, bro, midway up the thigh, if you have
around
a little
here.
bit of like, guys, if you have a little bit of thigh muscle and it's like midway up the thigh, that's
and you got some nice thick calves to show off there. Oh yeah.
I'm not talking about the calves. I'm even saying like
no, I know, but they look better when you have shorter shorts. Is what I'm saying.
No, I agree.
Like, it's accentuated.
Here's the thing: you look insecure when you wear long shorts.
And you know what, mate? But now think about this. This is like a funny take. Well, not really, but maybe the people who wear shorter shorts are more insecure because they think that the people who wear long shorts are insecure. So then they say, well, I'm going to wear short shorts because then I look less insecure, even though you're more insecure.
No, definitely not.
No, because
I like to wear shorter, but
hold on.
Isn't it the funny thing though? Maybe it's because we're all older, and we wear these short. Shut your mouth. And we wear all these.
You need to shut your mouth.
and we wear all these shorter shorts. Like, isn't that like a dad thing?
Let me tell you.
Like,
something.
Billy's not a dad, but we're older, so I'm generalization. But like, isn't that like a dad thing where like the dads walk around in like Hawaiian shorts or Hawaiian shirts and short shorts?
Yes.
What if it's a dad thing?
I don't know, man.
Bro,
no, it's not. It's awesome. Like, if someone asks me,
Because I still do it
I gotta
anyways.
get
I
this
don't
out.
care.
If you're
Well,
doing
let's
short
listen to
shorts,
Cole.
you're
Let's
doing
give
it for
Cole's turn.
aesthetic
Cole's turn.
reasons.
All right.
If you're doing short
Yes.
shorts, you're doing it for aesthetic reasons. If you're doing long shorts, you're doing it for insecurity reasons. That's it. That's
Yes.
the bottom line.
Yes.
There we go.
Like if you do short shorts, it's because you look in the mirror and you're like, that makes sense. If you're doing long shorts, you look in the mirror and you're like, that's acceptable.
Like I have,
Well,
I
that's
have like
Right.
my
So it's
like
insecurity versus not insecurity.
yeah. I have like my shorts
Like,
that are
here's
like
my-
that
here-
go down
here-
to my knees and stuff, but I have like majority of my shorts are like up above my knee. I don't know, but it's more comfortable though too.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wearing shorts below your knee, like as just a quirk or whatever.
Yeah.
But if that's your intent, like, oh, I can only do that,
So-
it's out of insecurity.
Especially if you got to like pull them
Here's,
down
like, the
behind you and like
ideal-
let your like butt hang out a little bit to try to get them lower, then you're probably even
Whoa.
more insecure.
Are you doing booty
I
shorts?
mean, bro, check out Ivan booty shorts.
Oh, but that's cool. That's cool. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Look at that.
I'm just yeah, but that's not really what I imagined when I was joking with.
Yeah, look at that American flag. Look at
Oh,
those.
yeah, dude.
That's
Wait,
fucking
is that American
powerful.
or is that an Israel flag?
That shit.
No, nice try.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
Hmm?
Damn, dude, that's not safe for children. That's not safe for work. NSFW.
Like I even got green Crocs on.
Aren't all Crocs probably Korean or some derivation thereof?
I don't know. Aren't they made in like
I don't know.
like some little Chinese children's sweatshop where just all the kids just sit there and like burn the rubber to make them or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't
And
that
then if they
literally
run out of
here's
like
flour,
they're all
they
just
use
made in some communist dictatorship?
So Clinton,
What?
here's my ideal wardrobe. So my go-to wardrobe, so basic but so great. Like some shorts above the knees for aesthetic reasons, probably some Vans sneakers with obviously short socks, and a plain fit t-shirt and probably like a RVCA hat or something.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm doing that, I'm running the short shorts with the pair of Nike high tops because I don't give a fuck, and
I
probably
like
do
the
like
high top short
do
shorts.
the-
That's a nice one.
do the short socks too, or like ankle socks or whatever, and then just
It's
yeah,
lot of
like
leg.
a fitted
That's
like
a
a
lot
fitted
of leg, bro.
like a
If
fitted
you
tee.
start going
But the
socks, that's a lot.
And
Yeah,
then I don't
but the
wear a
original-
hat
but the
though.
Vans-
I do the fitted tee and I just stick with my silver fox and my hair's done up nice and get her done.
well the OG Vans look really good with short shorts.
Yeah, I got to go Nike high tops. Don't care what anybody says. It's Nike high tops all day.
I don't wear Nike shoes, but what I will tell you, the best fucking underwear that are the Nike dry fits.
Fair enough. I have a shit ton of like Nike like track pants or like the slimming track pants and shit. I like to wear those. I wear those with like all my high tops because it looks good.
You should start wearing like the Adidas sweatsuits. You should start wearing like the Adidas sweatsuits top and bottom with the chain and the Nikes, like
No, I think I'm too
kind
cool
of like
for
they do in
that,
The
though.
Sopranos.
I know
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
too old
actually,
for that.
I'm
That's like
thinking
if I'm
kind of
hitting
like
45 and in a midlife crisis type of deal,
No,
and
but
like
I'm
I
thinking
think what I'm
if
wearing,
you did,
it makes me look younger. But then I'm like, people are looking at me and they're like, "What?"
No, you got to do the. He's right. He's tapping into something. Hold on a second.
With the Adidas sweatsuits, he's tapping into something here. Billy's got me. Got a one
I
up
think
on
he's
me here.
got you, bro. Like, hold on a
Or
second.
like the windbreaker ones with the 3 stripes on them.
What about just doing like a fucking? Why can't they do like a? I guess that would exactly be that because those are the ones like you zip up, right? And you can just cover your whole like half your face up. It's got the zip that goes up with the long neck. And
Yeah, and you can wear like like the top and the bottom like blue with the white stripe, the Adidas stripes, like the windbreak suit, and then you can wear like either no shoot and you zip it down a little low with the chain, or you gotta wear the wife beater underneath and still zip it down low and have like a gold chain.
I mean, yeah, Billy. Why don't you sport that? That's badass.
Well, I thought it looked good
I
on you.
sort of agree with Billy, dude. Like, if you did like a full Adidas tracksuit, like it would be iconic. I mean, it's no denying.
Dude,
Billy,
yeah. And
if
then
I
come
see
to the
you out
bed.
one night,
Yeah,
I
and
need to
pop
see
the
you out.
collar.
Yeah, you need. If I see you out, I need you to be. That's actually, I could do that. Like, I would even do it. But
See.
I think Billy would pull it off probably a little better than me, though.
Well,
That's why I'd rather
I'll
have
do it
Billy
too.
in
I
it.
don't care.
Oh, I know. Well, I mean, it's a good look, and I think that's kind of something that's probably coming back a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
definitely.
it is. I think
Do you
it
want to
is.
know? So as far as Cole goes, here's Cole. This is how Cole. This is actually intriguing. It intrigues me. Cole sparks me as a more as a like a suave Kurt Cobain.
So, like Cole, like Kurt Suave, like Cole
Like
Suave.
maybe Cole. Like no, like Cole is like Kurt Cobain's suave cousin.
Fair enough. Like,
I don't even know what to
okay.
think about that, man. I mean, it's both a
You know,
compliment
and
and a
like
confusing.
and like you know, and well, like Kurt Cobain's like shooting heroin, and Cole's just drinking an IPA.
I think that's accurate. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Actually, these are 2.8%.
Cole's like the healthy
Holy
version
shit!
of Kurt Cobain.
See, I was right. You see
Cole
that?
is
I
what-
was fucking right.
Cole is what Kurt Cobain would look like if he didn't have as many issues as he did. Like he's
Yeah,
like
if he
the
didn't have
sober.
stomach
He's like sober Cobain.
Yep.
I love
Like
the idea that
Cole
I'm
is the
sober
cousin.
compared to
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain.
But also,
because
though,
that's actually
we've got the
true.
Jared Leto vibe going on too with him a little bit.
No, but hold on.
No,
Let
Cole. Listen,
Billy cook.
hold
Let
on.
Billy
Wait, real quick. Cole is like the better cousin. Is like the cousin from the better side of the better half of the family.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That makes sense. I can actually live with that. Like, I don't think that's even like an ego thing. It's more like, yeah, I would like to be that guy for Kurt.
You are that guy.
I would hope that me and Kurt could have a little conversation and that he might not be murdered by his wife. No, I'm kidding. Take his own life.
That probably. I think you're on. I think you're on to something.
Well, we don't know. So, but either way, he was a troubled individual. That's what we do know.
yeah, that's true.
I know Kurt Cobain journal. I feel so guilty when I read Kurt Cobain journals, but curiosity killed the cat. But holy shit, what a fucked up book.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think any person who is like an artist, I don't think any person expects 100% total privacy. Like if they think like, okay, well, I'm trying to do something to impact people, then your whole life becomes a documentary in a sense. Like you have to assume that could happen in the future. So it's like I don't think you should feel guilty for having read stuff that you feel was like personal or something like that, because it's just right. Like he's a public figure and he became a public figure on his own volition. Nobody forced him.
Yeah, it's not like he was writing those journal entries thinking that nobody's going to see these. He was leaving them as a memento because he knew, if he ever passes, or especially what was, going on with him, regardless of how it happened,
Well, even before he got famous, I'm saying there's a mindset where you're like you never know, and like if you're trying to do something significant.
And a lot of those people do that. Like you see a lot of these documentaries now that have come out. Like what was the movie star who is a really good actor? You've got John Candy. He was very loved by a lot of people, and then you've got the other guy who
John Claude Van Damme.
No, he was he was Iceman in Top Gun. What's his name?
Oh, Val Kilmer.
Yes, Val Kilmer, another very good actor. But he filmed his life and did all that, before, a lot of stuff like that. So I think these people, they're artists in that way, but at the same time they're trying to preserve something, for future generations or for their children or their families or what have you.
Exactly. Well, what I'm saying is, like, at the end of the day, like, you should not feel guilty about reading Kurt Cobain's stuff.
Yeah, because that's the intention is.
Oh, I don't know more. That was a while back.
But also, can I just reframe what you're saying, Clinton? Like, just slightly. I will say, like, to take it even to another like a frame of reference. Even if you didn't have that intention, like let's say you're a normal person, you're growing up, you're like, because I've always kept journals, whatever. Like I've never thought of it as like, oh, this will be a historical document or whatever.
Right.
But let's say that you're 25 or you're 30, like whatever, like, or you're, whatever age Kurt Cobain was when he was like really pushing, like they were going out, they were performing live. He was on a mission to become successful, whatever you want to call that. You might not say he was chasing fame. You might say he was whatever, like being an artist, whatever. But either way, like he was on a mission to become successful. And at that moment that you make that choice, everything that you did before that, it's like you may as well burn it if you don't want somebody to see it. Because so again, it doesn't mean that you necessarily made that choice ahead of time, but it's like, even if I'm 23 years old and I make the choice that I'm going to try to like put my stuff out into the public, everything that happens before that, I have to assume, what if I do become super famous? What if people really do care? Then everything that I have on the record, every piece of data that I have saved could potentially become part of this like historical record. So I do believe that in a sense, like once you ask for fame or success, you sort of consent to all of your prior
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you consent.
And also as artists, okay, so so I'm not nowhere near of like musically level talented like you, but I listen to a lot of music and I can hold on. Let me get to what I'm going to say. I can play guitar good enough to sound cool at a party. So what I'm saying is I have enough music knowledge that I have a good understanding of music. And if you really think about it, every musical artist is leaving a journal within their music.
Very well said. Very well said. And
if you think about bands, what bands they release, like let's say you release 5 different albums, they are all going to sound similar because they're the same artist, but what was going on in their life when each single album is going to reflect in the songs they write.
That's true. That's true. It's like a snapshot. It's like a bookmark. It's like, yeah, I totally agree with you. But I just want to say, I want to go back to this thing where you sort of devalued yourself as a musician. And I just want to say, I literally to this day, something snapped. I literally to this day tell people when I talk to them about my own trajectory in life, like as a musician, is you, as we just talked about earlier in this call, you and Nick Longworth, but actually you were the actual one who, when we jammed, at that time, what you were playing mostly for our jams was very, very simple power chord songs, like Green Day, Brain Stew, right? Was it Brain Stew?
Yep.
Yeah. And then there was also the, you showed me the...
Bound for the Floor.
Bound for the Floor. All this stuff, like, you know what that did to me? Like, I was at a point where, like, I was playing drums because I got encouragement from Alex Gilbertson because he said, like, dude, you're actually good at this, blah, blah, blah. So that gave me encouragement. And then I did that. And then when you were doing those songs, I remember just being like, Jesus Christ. Like, when you showed me, like, what power chords were, I think you were actually the first one that showed me what power chords were. You literally were like, these are power chords. You actually called it that. And and then I was like, oh my God. I said, I don't actually have to be like, I don't have to learn guitar like down, because my impression of like picking up guitar, I was like, oh, I'm too old. I'm already like 16 years old. I'm 17 years old. Like everybody else started when they were 12, blah, blah, blah. You were actually somebody who, like, when I realized how you were playing guitar and how you were making music in that way, I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I can do that. Like, I can take 2 of my fingers and blah, 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 blah. Like, and you made it.
Well, I remember, I actually remember one of the first times showing you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It was on that black guitar in your garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, and I was like, cool, I'll play your drum set for a while, and then I broke it.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I really remember that. And you know, the funny thing was, like, I think what worked out for me is, like, Nick Longworth had a totally different, like, philosophy and sentiment, and he, you know, didn't think about these things the same way, but he was into, like, super, like, whatever, punk music, and forced me to do, like, a sort of like a, whereas before that I was kind of, I was stuck in, like, the And so like I always think like Nick Longworth taught me the punk beat of like that like 1-2 beat or whatever. But Nick Longworth was also like he started when he was like 10 or 12, and he was also just doing like power chords. Everything was power chords, and I was like, oh my god, I can do this. And then when that gave me the confidence to like actually pick up the guitar, and then I would be like, well, I may as well learn what like an open E minor is or a G or whatever. But then it was like I was doing that in the context of already having fun, because I learned from you guys that like you can actually play guitar and it doesn't have to be complicated. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then it actually makes me think like I think that's how people should learn musical instruments. That's what I try to do with rocker is like I just try to make it like fun. I'm like, oh, here's D, because nobody ever taught me that. That's all she has to know, where D is, because you can once you know D, you know C, and you know E or whatever. I'm looking at a keyboard right now. Once you know D, you know C, you know E, blah 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 blah. And I just try to instill that, and then I'll like she does like improvisational. She just messes around, and then when I try to teach her stuff, she'll as far as she'll allow it, I'll just be. Once she's like, oh, this is boring, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, okay, we don't have to do it, because the last thing you want to do is make music not fun. Like my
so here's
experience with music is like with you and with Nick Longworth, whatever. It was just fun. It was just pure fun. That's all.
And here's my philosophy on it, and this translates to whether it be music, jiu-jitsu, fucking racing dirt bikes. This translates to everything. Now I'm not saying to not expand and learn more, but you always, even as humans, you always go back to you resort back to your lowest level of training, which is the basics.
That's a good point.
In everything in life. That we actually going back to primal days, like you can be the biggest trained boxer in the world, but when it's life or death, what do? You always go back to resort back to the basic lowest level of training. So I always say it's better to have 3 really good tools rather than 100 broken tools.
I agree with that.
Well, isn't it even just like to have like 3 good tools, even like over like just even 3 broken tools? Because you can't use broken tools regardless anyway. So.
Then you got Clinton.
I'm sorry.
Okay, well,
I needed some like comedic intermission here. I couldn't think of anything else to say because I'm totally excluded out of this conversation. So I had to find some way to get myself in it.
Can I save Billy's analogy? Just because a tool is broken doesn't mean it's completely useless.
Actually, and just because a tool is broken doesn't necessarily mean it can't be fixed.
Exactly.
But I mean, they're still broken.
Right,
so when you have
Clinton,
like 3,
when
you have like 3 tools, bro, that like are working, and you got like 3 other tools, you don't have to have 100 of them. Like why? I mean, why would you have 100 broken tools unless some of them can be fixed? But I'm just saying, like 3, like you obviously only need like 3 broken ones or even 1 broken one. It's like, well, I'm going to use these 3 because this one's broken.
Or like if Clinton's brain is broken, we can still use his head for a hammer.
Exactly. And we will.
Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys.
I'm just teasing you on that one. You gotta admit, that was a funny one.
You too, Billy. I needed to feel included. So my only way I could include myself is to just like break the ice with a joke that was.
Well, listen, you don't gotta tease me. I'm a cheap date. Listen, I'm a cheap date. Just don't fuck up my Starbucks order.
Right, you just like to be wined and dined. I get it.
I actually like, dude, this is why you need your own, like, you need to be, you got to do a podcast, man, because here's the thing. You've got these little pearls of, like, you just got quotes up the wazoo, dude. You're just a quote machine, man. Like, you just got them just coming, they come out of you like water comes out of a fucking, a fountain. Like what you
All
just
right,
said.
so we'll start a podcast and we'll call it The Machine.
I love the unilateral.
So here's what
you're like. It's like, okay, all right, interesting. We are now doing this, and it's going to be called this. So yeah, continue.
Wait, are we gonna call it this or are we gonna call it the machine?
No, I'm saying this. No, but I mean more like I'm saying that that was what you did. But continue. Because you replace this.
Okay. So we'll call. Yeah, I'm tracking what you're laying down now. You're saying we're gonna call it this, as in what I said, and when you said I'm gonna call it this, I thought you were saying like we're gonna call it this, like THIS.
Oh, no. I was imitating you as a funny joke between the bros. But I continue. I want to hear your idea actually, and I think Clinton does.
So I've had ideas like this for a while because, and here's the thing: what I've decided. So the way I've made my life recently, like I've accepted that I'm gonna stay in Park Rapids, but hear me out why. If I follow my plan accordingly to the next year or two, I'm gonna be able to just only have to work in the summer and leave. Like I'm complicated, but I'm simple. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm building a house next summer. I'm building a small house, so it's paid for. I only have to live here in the summer, and then I can just leave every fucking winter and travel the world and be free.
That's actually that's a great idea. I like that. I can actually relate to that. I've been thinking something similar in a weird way. But go on.
Well, what we could do is we could both do it. You could do it there, I could do it here, and then I can come there and you can come here. Won't that be something?
That is that's actually interesting. The only problem is my situation is very precarious because it's very complicated. I have like I'm in a legal battle with Hubbard County right now over this lake property that I own, and I don't have time to get into it right now, but my sort of like back and forth and when I come and when I go is a little more like hard to predict and not so stable.
Right.
But otherwise,
that's okay because I'm like that. I'm like that too. So what we'll do is every time we're gonna go somewhere, we'll touch base, and either we cross paths or we don't, because eventually we will.
That's true. That's actually a good point. It's a good point.
And Clinton can come and he can bring his mistress.
I mean, who is more likely to have a mistress? I feel like you're most likely to have a mistress, Billy, because you're fucking talking about how you're pulling these 20-year-old chicks and all this. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I've actually slowed down recently. I've had to force myself to slow down.
You're on a diet? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Like, I actually had to cut a few out of my Snapchat.
But what about the actual like what materializes? Like what's the last time that something like materialized where it's like, oh man, I'm like,
boom, you're in a relationship. Boom, yeah, she's the one type of deal. When's the last time you had a woman and you were like, you know what I mean?
Or even like, okay, but like let's talk about like the mid, like between nothing and that, like somewhere between that spectrum, like where you're like, oh, it's been
okay. Okay, so I was dating this chick. She was a total like cougar, smoke show too. I could send you a picture. She's hot as hell, and she lived in Fergus Falls. And like she was like my official girlfriend,
Fergus,
you know. And
inside me only. There's nobody else that gets it. But
I don't care. You can send this to the world. I don't. You can send. I hope that's
is where my grandpa.
I was gonna say that'd be
born. And where he grew up.
I was hoping you'd post it and the dumb bitch would see it. Anyways,
you never know. You never know. I mean, don't underestimate my ability to post. It happens.
The girl, she was cool, she was fun, but total fucking psychopath to the point where she like tricked me into like a therapy session. Like she basically was like, I have therapy today, like, you know, I'm really nervous about it. Do you think you could like go with me for like moral support? I'm like, all right, sure. Mentally in my mind, not too keen on the idea, but doing the proper boyfriend thing, because that's what you do. You support your significant other. And so it turns into like her in therapy for herself. So she's literally attacking me, not physically, but mentally. And I'm just sitting here like, now this is like couples therapy. And I'm like, is this even legal? I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? So, so at the time, So finally, I said to the therapist, "I'm like, am I allowed to talk?" I'm like, "It's real easy to talk, like to attack a person without a voice. You know, you can paint a picture any way you want, but there's always two sides to a coin." And that therapist was like, "Well, did you say this to her?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did say this, and I did say that, and I said that too. But here's why I said it. That's the part she's not telling you." And then the therapist like tells me, "Well, I might be a little biased because she's my normal client." I'm like, "Well, you're not doing your job properly then." I'm like, "I don't know if I can legally be here right now." I said, "This is fucking absurd." So,
Jesus.
so,
Bro,
That's
so
you are giving us like an Oscar-winning, multi-layered fucking story right now. Like it's
He's
dude,
not
I'm
done
like,
yet. Don't interrupt. We gotta hear this.
I'm like, what the fuck? Well, this is right before I was going out to Washington. I was still fighting the wildfires, you know. And the next day, I was about to leave to Washington.
Would you
Wow.
expect anything less? Come on.
Oh, I
Billy.
wouldn't.
It's
I
Billy
wouldn't.
fucking Fletcher.
So I had, what's that word that women hate that you give them?
Cunt.
Alter mode or
Cunt. Oh,
ultimatum.
gaslighting?
No.
Or-
No. You know, you get when you give a woman an ultimatum, they don't like that. You know.
Ultimatum, yeah.
Yeah, you don't give them like an
Yeah.
ultimatum.
So
They don't like it when it's not like equality
right.
either, but
so listen.
and none of
what
them
I
are
did,
very
Cole,
good like
is,
philosophers
like,
either, but
But hold on. So what I did was I was very tactical with this. I gave her. I didn't physically. I didn't like with my voice give her an ultimatum, but in my mind I did. You know, because you got to set your boundaries. And because every time I would go out and fight in these wildfires, she would be fighting with me while I'm like out of state working. I'm like, I can't take this. This is
So
crazy.
basically, you were out fighting wildfires, and she was fighting the wildfire within your soul, dude.
Yes. So in that therapy session, I'm so glad that psycho fucking bitch tricked me to go there with her, because after that, she's like the whole conclusion that the therapist, and excluding me, came up with is her and I are gonna have zero contact for those 2 weeks, and then we decide we're gonna be together when I got back. And they're like, "Does that work for you?" I'm like, "No, not at all. I'm not going 2 weeks wondering what the fuck she's doing." I'm like, "I didn't agree to this at all." I said, "Either we're gonna talk and be together, or we're just done." And they're like, "Well, that doesn't sound." I'm like, "Well, I can make my own choices. It's my life." That's what I told the therapist, and I said, "I'm out of here now." So, anyways, she totally didn't follow through with what her therapist said. Like, I go to her house, I'm about to leave, and she's like, "Well, aren't you gonna stay the night?" And I'm thinking, like, well, it's the last time I might ever see her, so I gotta smash and dash one more time, you know, like adios type deal. And
What the fuck, dude?
any of my stuff I had in her house that she didn't throw away previous to that, I had kind of already like slowly took, because mentally in my mind I just kind of knew that was the last time I was ever going to see her again. And I told myself, and I didn't,
and dash.
yep, I told myself, because I really didn't want to break up with her, but it had to be done for my own manhood, and just for me as a person. Like, sometimes you just got to do things you don't want to do. You got to grab your balls and don't be a bitch. You can't be a Matt Lawley, as much as I love Matt.
right.
And I
I love that Matt Lawley is like an exclusive.
He's like just like a punching bag for everybody.
yeah,
Like
poor
he just
guy.
gets
I love
added
him,
into
but he
somebody's
just don't
random
learn.
conversation.
No, but I'm saying like,
So-
but Clinton, we're like on a private server where Matt Lawley is a meme on this private server. You know what I mean? It's like everybody knows, that's it. There's nobody else.
We should be Matt's the VIP meme.
Yeah,
But no,
exactly.
real quick. So to
He's
finish,
the
to finish this up,
meme.
so the next morning, I told myself, if she fights with me one time when I'm in Washington fighting fire, I'm never going back to her place again. So I went out to Washington, and I stood true to my word that I made myself. When I got back to Minnesota, I never returned back to Fergus Falls to see her. I've never been there since. That was it.
Stay strong, man.
I thought about.
That was Billy Jr.
Yeah,
Fergus Falls.
She messaged me. She messaged me like a month or two after that, right? And she's like, "Oh, that coffee would be nice, or a coffee date would be nice." And I said, "Yeah, I'll think about it." So
I don't know why
the
that's
next day. So the next day, and like I'm not gonna lie, the guy in me was like, man, I mind smashing her one more time, but then I'm like, nope. If I fucking smash her, I'm gonna end up back at her place and stuck in that fucking weird ass web again. So I messaged her then, and I was respectful. I just said I'll think about it, but I mean, it kind of was like, yeah, fuck you at the same time. So then the next day, I messaged her. I messaged her the next day. I said I thought about it, and she messaged me back and said and question mark, and I responded not interested.
Oh Jesus.
Jesus.
Poor. I mean, here's the thing. Like but what was her problem? What was the big problem? Break it down.
Dude, well, she was just a stone cold psychopath.
Okay, stone cold psychopath.
Yeah, but
What did
why
she
though? What
think
was
of-
she doing that was so like what aside from like bugging you when you're out doing your wildfires? Like what were the real like intricacies about the things she was doing?
Okay.
Like, where was the breadth of it at? The depth,
Well,
Well
okay,
said.
just like they say on the chart, the hot, they can say the hotter they are on the chart, that level of craziness. So she fucking, okay, we were fighting one day, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna disengage from this fight. And mentally, I'm like, I'm gonna disengage, otherwise, I'm gonna say a lot of shit that's gonna make things worse.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I stormed
That's good
out of the
thinking.
door.
Good
So
Billy.
I left. Granted, I didn't say nothing to her when I left. It's not like I left at like 1 a.m. and then a girl's like,
Right.
oh, where did he go? It was
The
3
women
o'clock.
hate when you leave. No, the women you can't
Yeah.
walking out is like a big fail.
Yes. Right. So I left, but I only left to go cool off. It was like 2 o'clock in the fucking afternoon.
That's
It's
what
not.
we
It
all
wasn't
say.
like it was
That's what
midnight.
we all say,
and
and it's true. But it's just like that to them. That's like the
Right.
worst thing you can do.
Yep. So I leave. So I go to Taco Bell. I enjoy my Baja Blast, and I go look at some guns at the store. Then I
Oh
go
my
wash
God,
my
you
Jeep.
live in Grand Theft Auto. You live in Grand Theft Auto, bro. You're literally like your real life is just Grand Theft Auto. Like I went to the gun store.
Yeah.
I picked up some grenades. I went and got a slushie. I put on Alex Jones on my Camaro 1985.
Well, then I washed my Jeep not once but twice and vacuumed it. So it took a little while, I'm just living life, enjoying my peace by myself.
He is living a video game.
I come back like 2 hours later thinking, oh, everything should be okay now and we'll just have makeup sex. Dude, the fucking code was changed on the door. My shit was scattered all over the street downtown Fergus Falls. And I'm just like, what? That's my favorite Def Leppard shirt, that fucking bitch.
Did you ever like get back in, or like what happened after you like all your shit was scattered everywhere, and like what the hell did you have to do?
Good question.
I think I went back to Park Rabbits, and then my dumbass ended up back there a few days later.
Yeah, but what, like, in terms of the relationship intricacies, what was like the general, like how like, okay, I think me and Clinton were actually talking about this before we got on this chat. I think we were. I might be mistaken.
Yeah, go on.
But it's like when women are basically like policing you. Maybe I talked to somebody else about this. Did we talk about this, Clinton? Where it's like, oh, why were you out, or why were you not? Like, no, I was talking to a different guy. Sorry, I was fasting for 62 hours, and my brain got a little bit confused. So,
that's good. The Bible talks about that. You just reduced your chance of cancer.
I know. I totally believe in that. Like the body starts, like it resets the immune system. It does all that. Like,
Have you ever done it,
Dude,
Billy?
why did you quit it? Hold on. I intermediate fast. I've never made it. You 62 hours. Why didn't you do the full 72? 3 days. You reduced your chance of cancer by like 70%.
Before that, a good question. A week before that, I did
close.
for the first time ever. I did like a 40 9-hour or something fast. So like for me, that was already like a
Yeah,
big,
you're building up to it.
yeah, exactly. And then and the funny thing was, it was only 2 weeks later where I just suddenly said to myself, I was like, I'm doing it now. And the thing that I've been doing, like I told Clinton this, it was like I went on ChatGPT and I said like, hey, it's September, blah blah blah. It's this hour. I decided that after this moment, I'm gonna start fasting. Like, remind me as we go about all the benefits that are happening as I'm fasting and blah 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 blah. And then it was like, and then that was like a good sort of like almost like a therapeutic support where it was like, okay, 12 hours late, no, not 12 hours, but like the next day, like when I would normally have a meal, because I do also intermittent fast, but where I'm like really not going to eat at all. And then I was like, okay, now it's whatever time, and it's actually a little bit tricky, you know, blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, right now your glycogen reserves are basically zero. You're running mostly on ketones now. Your brain is switching over between like sugar and ketones. Now I'm dumbing it down a little bit, but like glycogen and ketones and blah blah blah. And it was like saying all this stuff. So it's like every time that I asked for an update, I was actually like, it was encouraging me to keep going, because it was like, now you're like really burning, you know, visceral fat and blah 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 blah. So I was like, oh fuck, I'm just gonna keep going. But I sort of decided on this time, and I didn't want to push it too hard, because I also don't like, I have this tendency where it's like, if I push something too hard, then the next time I think I have to surpass it, and if it's too big, then it makes me lazy a little bit. So it's like, if I just think of it as like, okay, baby steps, whatever. I know I can do this. I did this, and da da da. And then next time I know, like, okay, I did 64 or whatever hours, whatever it was. I can't remember exactly. I can do the full 72 or whatever. But anyway, it was amazing. Like, yeah, but it was also very doable. It was like not that hard. Like after the first day and a half, like first 48 hours, there were some challenges, but after that, like I could see, like, you know, unless you really are like, I want to get back to my routine of like,
Wait, where?
I want to. Did Billy? Oh, he left. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, this.